decided it's okay to wear AirPods anywhere, anytime. Lauren, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Rideshare Chronicles.
Okay, AirPods from Apple seem to have really changed the game when it comes to how ubiquitous earbuds have become. Give us a little bit of history on this.
Well, at first this was kind of AirPods were a bit of a status symbol. As a doctor, and he's noticed that people keep their AirPods in when he walks into the exam room to give them their examination. And that seemed to be
a line in the sand.
Moving to it. He said his first reaction was, why is this person being rude? Here I am, I'm coming in to give them their annual exam, and it's a professional interaction, so why do I feel like I'm competing with a podcast or some music or even sometimes a phone conversation? Now, then he would step back. I mean, this was a very thoughtful guy. He would step back and think, well, maybe there's nothing on there. Maybe the person's actually listening to me, or in some cases, maybe they're being used for hearing aids. Since I wrote that story, there's a very devoted following of people out there who use their AirPods as hearing aids, and they're much cheaper than what you would get from your doctor prescribing them for you, sometimes by thousands of dollars. So there's a very loyal following out there for that. In some cases, they might be used by people who have sensory overload issues, so maybe perhaps somebody with autism who uses them. And we don't yet have the etiquette in place of someone saying, oh, don't worry, I'm listening to you, or I just use these as a hearing aid, or something like that.
It's interesting because doing rideshare, people often have earbuds in, and it's easily construed as being rude. They're here for a ride or whatever, but it's easily construed as that when people hop back there and put their earbuds in and just look down and look around. It's crazy.
So there's like a moment, and we live in New York City. He takes the subway to school. I take it to work. We often take the subway together. There's usually a moment where he's like, okay, talk to you later, Mom, and just puts the AirPods in. And that's okay. He tells me, and then I know that I need to just tap his knee if I need to tell him something. But sometimes he'll have them in. He loves music. He loves listening to music. I think that's great.
I have a 16-year-old.
It's confusing for, I often have to be like, can you hear me right now? Or, are you listening to me? Or is the music on, in order to make sure I have his attention? And it has taken some getting used to.
At UCLA, I've been doing it for like 4 or 5 years now. And every quarter, there's always students that come in and think that they can wear their AirPods during the entire class period. And I always have to explicitly make a class rule that they can't wear them, because I think it's very distracting to me as a teacher, and also I don't know if they're paying attention or not. And so it's a classroom culture thing that I feel like I have to enforce, but every quarter I have to do it. I find it really interesting.